Hello, hello everyone, and good evening, and welcome to Crafty Hour number 12. It's Kourtney here with Scrapbook-N-memories in Harrisonville, Missouri, and I'm excited to show you two fun kind of folds interactive cards. So I'm going to let everybody jump on and say hello and make sure everybody's here. I hope everybody's having a good afternoon. Hello, hello. Hello and good evening. I didn't grab my own supplies out. Okay, so you guys are going to, if you did Deanna's class, Crafty Hour this morning, you're pretty much set. You've got everything that you guys are going to need. So you know you're always going to need pop dots. You're going to need some tweezers, a pokey tool, liquid adhesive, and we'll get running. So hello everybody. Hello. See a lot of familiar names. I almost said faces. I don't see you guys. A lot of familiar names coming on. So thank you everybody for participating in the Crafty Hours. I hope you guys are enjoying them. We've got some fun ones planned for you. The one that we're going to announce tomorrow is phenomenal. We're so excited. It literally came in today and we're like, oh my God, we're going to do this one now. So we're going to jump to it and do it. So we love, love, love it. Okay, yes. You guys can always catch us on the replay. That's the great thing about Crafty Hour and the great thing about this popping up. So hello everybody. Hello. Lots of BCs, lots of Vancouver, Langley. We've got Kansas City in the house. So thank you everybody for joining. Lots more fun for Crafty Hour. So let's talk about this kit. Was this kit not phenomenal? I mean, Deanna and I both designed with this and we didn't even make a dent in it. So you guys are going to have so many extra things, so many bits and pieces that you're going to be able to make more stuff with. So that is super exciting. So we cannot wait to see what your creations are. So as always, make sure to post your creations over in the Crafty Hour Creations Facebook group so we can see what you guys are designing and what you're making. Hello from Alberta. Hello. Another BC. Hello. Oh my goodness. So lots of fun stuff going on. Lots of fun Crafty Hours. So Deanna did a beautiful job this morning with her 4 cards. Showing her style, that she does the layers and she likes lots of foam tape, lots of pop dots. So that was awesome. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do 2 cards that are going to be kind of fun folds and interactives. So if you did the class Saturday with BB's Hummingbird class, oh my gosh, it was such an amazing class. It was so inspiring. Her new Spellbinders release is just gorgeous. So that's where I got this inspiration for this card. So it's going to open like that. So if you did BB's class, you're kind of familiar with this kind of pop and fold. So like I said, I was inspired. I loved how she had the card open. I love how she, the little trick to die cut it. So we are going to make this card, with BB's inspiration. I know, oh my gosh, her whole collection was beautiful. That private Facebook group that had the class, everybody's been posting all their inspirations and their extra cards and projects that they've made with the kit and the add-ons. And it was fantastic. It's like, it's so inspiring. It's so amazing to see everybody's stuff. So, and then here's another one. So this one is going to be kind of a double fold. So it's going to pop open this way and then it's going to pop open that way. So this one is going to be another fun fold card. So I'm going to grab my pieces and we're going to get started because we've got 2 cards with lots of fun folds and flips, and we want to have time to get through all of them in our hour. Okay, so first thing up, I had you guys grab some ephemera and grab pieces. I had to grab some little homework and stuff. Grab those. So first thing you're going to need to grab is a card base. Oh, and I forgot to bring my scoreboard. Oh, I got one right here. This is what happens when I design and teach in 2 different rooms. Hi, Angie. That's okay. You can always catch us on replay. So you're going to grab your card base. These are the card bases that came in the kit. These were just the standard size card bases. Nothing fancy for them. And you're going to go ahead and grab one of those cards. Your card is going to be like this. So your card is going to be, this is your normal A2 card. Okay. So what we're going to do, and I took my trimmer and score it because I don't trust myself to fold it in half. But basically what you're doing is you're going to take this wing and you're going to fold it back. So we're back folding that wing. But we're going to use a scoreboard. So if you've got your scoreboard, what you're going to do is you're going to score it at halfway. So your card panel itself is 4 1/4. So you're going to score it in half. So you're going to take your score tool and you're going to score it at 2 1/8. 2 1/8. So you're just scoring it in half. Okay? Just scoring it in half. So you're going to have your regular card. And now you're going to have this little wing that back folds. Okay? You got the little back fold wing. And then that's what's going to, I can't fold it because my embellishments are on there, but it's going to look kind of like that. Okay? Then you're going to need to grab your Big Shot. If you do not have a Big Shot and you do not have the dies I'm using, don't worry about it. Because what you can do instead of die cutting this piece out like I'm going to do, you can just glue your rectangle piece on here and just glue it right here. So there is a way to work around this if you don't have it. If you don't have it, pretend this is your rectangle. Your rectangle will just get glued there and then it'll open up and you'll have a full panel instead of having a hole like the rest of us are going to do. Okay. So I told you to grab some nesting dies or whatever dies you had. Nesting dies I love because you can get more ideas and use out of them. This one is the Postage Edge Rectangles by Spellbinders. And I know Deanna has used this one in tons of classes and we've used this one a lot too. So that's the one I used. I'm going to grab the straight one, the straight with the little pin drops. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4 inside, 4 inside. Now, if yours is not exact, it's okay. Grab whatever you've got. Grab a nesting die. This nesting die is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay, 4 1/2 by 3 1/4 is the nesting die. If you have something different, grab whatever you got. Okay, so there is a little trick to this, and let me bring my Big Shot in because there is a trick to get it to cut just on that edge. Okay, did I lose anybody yet? I promise this is the hardest part. Once we get through this, we'll be good. Okay, so we're going to take our die and we're going to line it up. We're going to center it. So you're going to center that die right here on this piece of paper. In fact, I'm going to flip it this way so you guys can see it a little bit better. Okay, so here's our panel that has the fold on it. Panel that has the fold, and you're just going to center that die right on over your crease. Okay, now this crease is important because if we run this through, it's going to die cut that whole piece, and we do not want to die cut this whole piece. We just want to die cut this right here. This right here is what we're die cutting. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our clear plate and right where that crease is, right where that crease on your card is where we are going to put the edge of our plate. So what it's going to do is when you run it through the rollers, it's going to press here, but it won't press here because there's nothing to press on. Okay, So I'm going to crank it through the machine. I'm going to bring it out so that our die was only there. And when I pull my die up, you can see it only cut on that one side. It didn't cut on the other side. So this is a great way to use your nesting dies for just different fun, creative ways. Okay? That is the most confusing part. I promise there's nothing tricky after that. Nothing tricky after that. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold your card in half. Okay? Folding your card in half. Then you're going to fold this flip down. We're just kind of training it so it flips. And now we're going to open it. And then we're going to flip it back this way and fold it. Okay. So now when you close your card down, it's going to kind of Z-fold. You got a little bit of a Z-fold. And now your front flap is on the front. Okay. Isn't that fun? Okay, so when you open it, it's just going to drop down into that hole. Okay, has everybody got it? Are we good? I promise this is the most confusing part. It's done. Once we have that part done right there, we're good. And you can do this with any kind of nesting dies. Any nesting dies you have, just do a partial cut. You can do circles, ovals, rectangles, squares, whatever you want. Sandy, my die is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And let me grab a pen and I'll write that down. Okay, so there's the die. There's the die itself. Okay? Did I lose anybody? I got everybody? Okay, looks like we got it. So that's just a fun fold. Fun, easy folds to do. So now the hard part's done. Now we're going to come to decorating. So the first thing you're going to grab out of your kit, you probably used half of it for Deanna. You're going to use purple. It's funny. We do not look at each other's cards or look at what each other's doing it. And we were both drawn to like the same prints and the same colors. So when I start to design, what I like to do is I go through the pack, since it has all these little 6x6s, and I pull out 2, sometimes 3 prints that I think match and coordinate, and I put them together in piles. And then I pile up my ephemera that I think I want to use with that card, and I go from there. And we pick the same exact cards. So the card colors and stuff, so that was fun. Okay, so has everybody got their purple piece of paper? Purple paper? Okay, so we're going to have to cut it down just a little bit. So we need to cut it down to be 5 3/8. So I'm putting it in my trimmer tall. So we're in our trimmer tall because right now we're 5 1/2. So we're just going to bump it down to 5 3/8. 1, 2, 3. And if you're using the Tim Holtz trimmer, which I love, and we just got these back in stock, 3/8 is going to be in between square number 1 and square number 2. In between square number 1 and square number 2. Okay? So we're just going to chop that at 5 3/8. Then we're going to flip it. And we're going to cut it at 2 inches. Okay. So we have our purple that is 5 3/8 by 2. 5 3/8 and 2. And where that is going to go is right here. It's going to go right here, and you're going to have a little bit of white all the way around it. Okay, it's going on that front flap with a little bit of white. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cut the flower one. So I loved this purple one. I love watercolor florals. Anything with a watercolor floral on it, oh, be still my heart. So I loved this piece right here. So we're going to use this one. And I'm going to cut the 1 7/8 first. So I'm going to cut that smaller one first. So I'm going to put it in at 1 7/8, which is the square in between 1 3/4 and 2. I love these squares. It just makes it so much easier. And then we're going to flip it and do 5 1/4. And 5 1/4 is a full square. Full square. Okay, and while we have our trimmer out, we're going to go ahead and jump down to this purple one too. So our piece is already 5 3/8. I'm just going to double check it. Yep, we're already 5 3/8. Now we're going to cut one. It is 4 1/8. 4 1/8. So we've pretty much got our base pieces for our card. We've got the purple, and we're going to glue our florals down. Oh, Linda's eating dinner and watching. I love it. I ran home and reheated leftover tacos really quick and ate, because I had a feeling if I didn't eat before class, my stomach would really be growling by the end of it. You would think it's the dogs, but it would have been my belly. Okay, so we're going to put that on. So you just have that little bit of purple all the way around it, little bit edge. And then that is going to go right here on the outer flip, with just a little bit of white. And like I said, this, if you did BB's class, you can go back and watch her too. BB showed you, I was so inspired. She did this in the class on Saturday. She did it with a heart, which was fabulous. So cute with the heart. And she also did it, I think, with a circle and an oval. She showed a couple different ways to do it. And it was so inspiring. Like I said, I was like, oh, I can't wait to use that for a crafty hour. I'm going to use that tonight. Okay. And then we're going to open your card. Open your card. And this purple piece is going to go right here on the inside. And it looks like I'm good with a little bit of white all the way around the outside edge of it. A little bit of white. Okay, so there we got that. And then we got that. And like I said, if you, at this point, if you do not have a rectangle to be able to cut this next piece and you're not doing it, then this next piece, you're going to cut it, just cut a rectangle that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And you will essentially just glue that rectangle here right on top of your thing. And when you glue it, you'll just put glue on the left-hand side, not the right-hand side. Okay? But if you have, okay, so there's our card. Sharon, I'm trying to go a little fast, I know, but I only have half hour. So you can catch us on replay and you can re-watch it that way. Okay, so I'm going to now cut a piece. So I'm going to grab that same die and the gold paper, and I'm going to cut a panel to go right on here. If you don't have the die cut, cut your gold 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay? If you don't have a die cut, you can do the same look without nesting dies. But like I said, I love nesting dies. They are worth their weight in gold. I'm gonna have to cut that down. They ain't gonna fit in my machine. Worth their weight in gold. Ooh, and I'm using the gold on the next one, so I gotta make sure I don't waste the gold. Oh, I love this gold. This gold is just so precious. I don't want to waste it. We're going to go that way. Anybody else obsessed with this gold? Spellbinders does have this gold available. I think there's like 10 sheets in a pack. I'm going to be putting a lot of this on order because I just cannot get enough of this gold cardstock. Okay, so there's my die cut, and I'm just going to die cut out of the gold the same thing that we die cut that shape on the front. Look, little to no waste. Isn't that pretty? Okay, same shape. We're just using that same die. So now we have this piece here. This piece here is going to get glued right on top of that white frame that we have. So we're going to glue it right there. This is where, if you didn't do this fun fold and your card looks like this and you don't have this fun fold piece, your card just looks like this and you have your rectangle, what you're going to do is just put glue right here on the left hand side, and then your card will open like that. So you'll see gold on the back. But if you did the piece, then you're going to just glue the whole piece down. So when you open the card, you're going to see the white. Okay? Does that make sense? I'm trying to give you two different versions because I know not everybody has that. I know, Sharon, they give us a little taste of the gold in each kit. They give us a little bit. They also have it in silver, and they have it in a mixed pack, I think, that has red and gold, or red and green in it for Christmas. That's this nice shiny metallic. And it embosses beautifully too, but look how good it looks on those little nail heads. The detail on that is just amazing. I love it. So amazing. Okay, so that's our gold piece. Our gold piece is die cut 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 if you don't have your die cutter. And then next piece, last piece of paper, is you're going to grab a green piece. Green. And this has just a little bit of a speck on it, but not a whole lot. And we're going to cut this 3 by 4 1/4. 3 by 4 1/4 is going to be this green piece. Okay. And then that green piece is going to go right here in the center of that gold. So if you need to chop it down a little bit, chop it down, but you want that green just to frame that really nice. Okay, now we're on to die cuts. So for our die cuts, thought I lost mine for a second. I had you pull out these 4 die cuts. These 4 die cuts that kind of went with it. I had you pull that out for homework last night. And what we're going to be doing too is playing with this frame, this chipboard frame that was in the kit. I loved this frame. I love to build shakers. So on the supply list, I had you grab a piece of vellum. If you don't have vellum, you can grab a piece of acetate. You can grab some packaging, whatever you have that's clear. But I like the vellum because it just kind of gives it a different look, and it kind of mutes it a little bit. And we're also going to be putting die cuts in behind it, so that kind of gives it a fun layer too. Now, so grab your die cut. Now, mine's looking a little funny because I designed the card, I fell in love with the card, and I love that die cut. And then I went back and I was like, oh, I got to do my homework and tell everybody to pull all their pieces. Son of a gun, there was only one of those in the kit. So this is me last night trying to freehand draw one. So yours will be from the chipboard sheet. Mine is hand-drawn-ish. So we're going to work with it. It's going to work because, Yeah, I didn't think ahead on that one. I only had one and I wasn't able to make another one. And you kind of saw that when Deanna was doing some stuff too. There's only one of some of the items in the kit, so that made it kind of hard to make something and then go. So anyways, your frame's gonna look prettier than this. And then I also had you guys grab a piece of vellum. Like I said, vellum, acrylic, or acetate, whatever you had on that. You know, Marcy, me and Deanna could trade parts if we weren't designing it the weekend of. We totally could. But she designs on Sunday nights and I design on Mondays. That's my day off. Okay, so we're going to take that vellum and I put on, because like I said, I'm not working with the chipboard. The chipboard is peel and stick, but I felt like the chipboard itself needed a little bit more glue on it. So even on the back side of the chipboard, I didn't find it was sticky enough. I still went in with a liquid glue, or you can use your Suquang or score tape, whatever you call it, and put some sticky on it. Because I'm working with a piece of paper and mine doesn't have chipboard with sticky on it, I just put the adhesive on there. So you're going to take that and you are going to stick it down to your acetate, your vellum, whatever you're working with. You're going to stick it down to that and then just cut it out. And when I cut mine, I kind of cut at an angle. That way I'm cutting underneath the vellum and not the edge of my embellishment. So I just kind of angle my scissors and you can kind of see how it goes in behind the object. Okay, there we go. So you should have now a chipboard frame with your vellum or your acetate on it. Okay, and because it's going to be a shaker window, we need to add pop dots to it. So we need to add some lift. What I like is the scrapbook adhesive. I love their foam strips. We also have waffle flowers foam strips, which are awesome too. So what you're going to want to do is put your foam on the back side and you're going to have to build a box. And when you build your box, you want to make sure there's no openings, because if you have openings, then your little shaker bits and pieces are going to fall out. Your shaker guts are going to fall out. So make sure there's no openings on your boxed frame. And these strips are just the perfect width. Just boxing it in. Oh, I gotta make one just... right? All thumbs, yes. Okay, there's our little shaker. We've built our little box. I'm going to take my powder tool and I'm just going to powder it a little bit. That way my sequins don't stick to the pack. Okay. And then, so don't put sequins in yet. So what we're going to do is we're using this as an eyeball. So don't peel off your foam yet. We're just eyeballing it. So, ooh, that is not the best frame that I've ever hand drawn. We're going with it though. Yours will look better, I promise. So your frame's going to go in the center of your green. Frame goes in the center of the green. Then we're going to take some florals and we're going to build in and around it. So we're going to take these florals and we've got this cluster here, has the two little yellow guys on it. And it's going to go right here in the corner. Kind of leaning down like that. And as you can see, what we're doing is you're going to see through the vellum some of that floral. Isn't that pretty? So it's just kind of peekabooing through that piece. Just a little peekaboo through that piece. And then the next one we're going to do is this one, and it kind of has these wild little guys over here on the side. Little wild guys. I don't know what they're called. And he's going to go up here. And essentially what we're doing is we're just building a little frame. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these guys down. And I just glue in the center. That way you have room to floof and move your objects and kind of tuck them. So I only put glue in the center of my pieces. Okay, and then we're just building kind of a corner, building a corner piece. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. Okay, then we have this guy. I was not in love with this. So you're going to take your scissors and you're going to whack that off. I was not in love. Okay, and then he is going to go down here in this bottom corner. So whenever you're looking at die cuts, you can always look at them in a new way. If you don't like the way it is, change it. Absolutely, change it. Okay, I'm going to put my frame on and see how I like that, and I love it. That is perfect. My flowers are perfect. Okay, so grab your sequins. I know Deanna used them as some little embellishments. And we are just going to sprinkle them in the center. I can't get my Ziploc bag open. And then put our frame on top. And when we put them in, you kind of want to make sure they're laying pretty flat so they don't get stuck. I think I want a little bit more than that. Perfect. And then you're going to peel your backing off and stick your frame down. And now you have a little shaker card. Quick and easy shaker card. Now, if you're wanting to build more, like I did, I took my trimmer, or if you had nesting dies, you could nest die out a rectangle. I just didn't have the size I needed. And then I took the clear embossing pen, doodled that, and then used gold embossing powder. So if you're wanting to repeat that and you don't have the pieces, that's what I did. I just doodled with a Versamark pen and gold embossing powder. Okay, on your chipboard pieces, you're going to have Happy. I used Happy. I only have one of them. So I used Happy on mine, but you're going to use Happy for yours. I'll use a different one. You're going to use your last flower cluster. And then your little bee. Uh-oh. My bee flew off. Anybody see where my bee went? I knew I was going to lose that little guy. He was just here. I'll find him afterwards. Oh, there he is. He was stuck to my acetate. And then there's the little bee. So we're just going to glue. Can you believe we didn't use any? Oh, wait, we did. I was going to say we didn't use any pop dots, but we did use it for the shaker. We're going to put a little liquid glue on the back of that one. And then we're just going to stick that floral down to the frame. In your chipboard pieces, for your chipboard pieces, you're going to use Happy. I'm going to use Smiles because that's all I have left. I'm going to use Smiles. And again, I didn't think this chipboard was very sticky. So I'm going to put some liquid glue on there. And we're going to have Smiles. You're going to use Happy. And then you have the B, so get it? Be happy. Ha-ha. Be happy. B smiles doesn't make sense, but we're going with it. Smiles. And the B is going to get a little pop dot on the back. And we'll put the little B on the flower. So there we have it. So here's the original. Be happy. Your card's going to open like this. It just hinges open. There's the back side. There's the front side. So there is the first one. Whew, look at that. I'm only 3 minutes over. I think we can do this. And look how fun that is. So we did a fun flip, fun interactive, and then we added some more movement by adding a shaker card to it. Okay, has everybody got it? Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the hearts and thank you for all the love. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're going to move that one out of the way and we're going to grab our second card. So this is our second card and it's going to be a kind of a fun fold open too. So this is going to open and then this piece is going to open. So we've got two flaps. So you can put sentiment here, you can put a sentiment here, you can put a gift card over here. So we're going to have kind of two flaps on that, okay? So let me put these pieces out of the way and grab my other ones. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so what we're going to start with again is one of the card bases. You're going to start with a card base. Start with a card base. Okay, now what we need to do, because our card is going to open here, we need to cut off the flap of our card. So your card, here's your card. Your card's going to open. Mine's inside out. Card's going to open. We're going to cut off an inch right here. Right here, we're going to cut off 1 inch from your base of your card. And because my trimmer is backwards, I'm going to put her over here. And what I've done is I've cut off 1 inch. Oh, welcome, Deanna. Deanna is in. Right? They were inside out. I don't know what was up with that. I think some of them are still inside out. Okay, so you're going to cut off 1 inch. 1 inch on that. And then we'll just sit that one to the side because we got some more prepping to do. So you're going to grab the other half of your pink cardstock. I think Deanna used some of this. So you're going to grab the other pink. Oh man, see, Deanna wasn't on. I could have sneak peeked you guys tomorrow's crafty hour and she would have never known the difference. No, I won't do that. I'll get in trouble. Okay, so there's our pink. We're going to put it in the trimmer tall. So our pink piece is in here tall. Oh, yes, Deanna. Ken has boxes downstairs. He's checking in right now. And as soon as this is done, I got to start kitting tomorrow's crafty hour. Ken's checking the product in right now. I told everybody we had other crafty hours already in store and already planned. But these products arrived to the warehouses today and we couldn't wait and decided to bump all the other crafty hours for this crafty hour. And that is how amazing tomorrow's Crafty Hours announcement is going to be. It's so awesome that we bumped all the other ones we had planned. Telling you. This is the brighter pink. The brighter pink, right? We're impatient because if we would have held it in the back room, it would have leaked. We would have leaked. We would have told them because we can't keep secrets. Can't keep secrets. Okay, so this is the dark pink paper, the brighter one, the brighter pink. So you want it in your trimmer taller than it is wide, and we're going to do that 5 3/8. So it's already about 5 1/2 because you use part of it for Deanna. So we're going to do it at 5 3/8. And remember, if you're using the Tim Holtz trimmer, that's in between square number 2 and square number 3. Well, 1, 2. Yeah, it's in between number 2. Sorry. In between square number 2. I know, right? Ooh, I don't know. Okay, so we're going to flip that. Now we're going to do it 3 1/8. So 3 1/2 a square number 1. Half a square number 1. So 3 1/8. Then we're going to find the flower, and I love this watercolor. Love, love, love. I sent Ken twice to the cardboard recycle company today with 2 truckloads of boxes. My gosh, we had no room. We had to like break stuff down and get rid of boxes. Oh, okay. This is going to be your flowers. I love these flowers. I love the little watercolor look to them, and I just thought they was fun. Now, to me, there is an up and down to this print. So I put it in the trimmer with the flowers, vines kind going up to the air. And we're going to trim it at 3 inches. Okay? So 3 inches with the flowers going upward. And then we're going to flip it and do 5 1/4. 5 1/4. I'm telling you, it's a crazy wild night in the life of store owners. We are partying it up and checking in inventory every night. We have homework and kitting classes and kitting crafty hours. Whew, we live a wild, wild life. Okay, so you want your flowers to fit right on that pink. Little bit of edge all the way around it. Okay, and we can go ahead and glue that piece together. Go ahead and glue the pink and the flowers together. Oops, now it looks like my flowers are going upside down, so I'll make sure to flip it when I put it on the white. Okay, and then you're going to bring your card back in, and we are on the outside panel that we cut that 1 inch off. And you're going to put the pink down, and you're going to have a little bit of white showing all the way around the outside edge. Little bit of white. I know, I loved all the watercolor florals in this line. I like grabbed them all, and I was like, these are the ones I'm using. I always go through these paper pads, and I make 3 piles. I make the definite pile, I make the maybe pile, and I make the nope, not happening pile. So I always split my paper pad into 3 sections. Love it. It's okay. Not a fan. Okay, there's our little piece. The next piece we're going to do is this inside panel. We already have it 5 3/4. So now we need to cut it to 4 1/8. 4 1/8. It's already 5 3/8. And then we're going to glue that right down. I never usually use your favorites. You're saving them for the perfect project, right? I use the ones that I'm not a fan of, as Christina calls them, sloppy copies. I use those for my sloppy copies when I'm trying to make a sample or a demo one, or I'm experimenting. Those are where those papers go. Okay, so the next piece, you're going to see I use the floral, what was left over. So there's our leftover floral. We're already going to keep it the width. We just need to cut the height to 5 1/4. It's too tall. So we're going to cut it to 5 1/4. Right? It's too pretty to cut. I have a room full of paper it's too pretty to cut. And then the vendors go out of business, so then I really hoard it. I'm like, oh, I can't cut it because I can't get it anymore. Okay, so that's going to go right there. And we're going to have that pink over on the edge. So we're just using the scrap of floral, what was left over, because it is going to peekaboo a little bit. We want the little peekaboo. We're just going to leave that there. Okay, so here's what we got so far. We've got the outer panel. We have the front panel. Okay. Now for the next one, you can either grab a card panel or you can grab that off-white piece of paper in there. I didn't think this matched. This did not match to me and the OCD kicked in and I didn't like it. So what I did is I grabbed another card panel and we're just going to cut it down. But it'll be okay because there's plenty of card panels in there. And this card panel is not folded very straight. Okay, so I grabbed another card panel. And essentially what we're doing is we're building this piece right here. Building it like another mini card inside of it, or a mini box, okay? And it is going to be 4 1/2 tall by 6 1/4 wide. Or we're going to do a little trick and we're going to cut it 3 1/4 wide. Okay? So what I do is I got my card panel in here and here's my crease. We want to keep that crease. We do not want to cut that. So my crease, I'm going to flip my crease. My crease is over here. Okay? Crease is over here. And let me measure. Measure twice, cut once, right? 3 1/4. So we're going to bump it over to 3 1/4. Okay? And we are chopping it off. So what we did is we chopped off 2 pieces. So our crease is over here. So now we have a smaller book. 3 1/4. Now we need to do it 4 1/2 tall. Okay, 4 1/2. So all we did is cut a card panel down. We just cut a card panel down. And now we have our little flip book. And this guy, your crease is going to be on the side. So it's going to open backwards. We're opening her backwards. And this piece is going to get glued inside your card. But what I did is I kind of held it. And then you're going to close that flap and close that flap. And what I did is I kind of wanted to position it and make sure when you look at the outside of the card, it is centered. Okay? And in order to do this, it's going to be hard to try to lift this, put glue on here, make sure it doesn't run. So a trick I'm going to do, here's your crease. I'm going to flip it over to the back side, which crease is still on the side. Crease is still there. And I'm going to take a piece of score tape, or suquang as you guys call it in Canada, and I'm going to put it right along the edge. Right along the edge, I put my suquang. Then I'm going to do my little trick where I make an, oh, what do we call it? I call it like a bent ear. You know how you like bend over the edge of a book? What is, dog ear it? I don't remember. I don't read. You can tell that. When you bend over the corner of your book, you're just kind of bending over. That's what I'm doing with that. So what I'm doing is there's only sticky right here. There's no sticky anywhere else. So what you can do is you open it up. This is moving around. You close this piece. You close this piece. Dog ear. Thank you, Sylvia. I thought that's what it was. I kept wanting to think pig. And you can move this around. See? Nothing is sticky yet. Move this around. So I move it to make sure it looks like it's exactly in the center. And I push this corner. Now it is stuck down. Push the corner, and then I pull the score tape out, release it, and now she's stuck down. Great trick to kind of lay something down when you can't lift it and put more glue. Now I'm going to lift this part and glue the rest of that. So it'll all be glued down. Okay, so now we have our big flap and our little flap. Okay, flappy, flappy. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to pick it up. I just looked at the time. Okay, so now we have some more die cutting to do, and this should be quick and easy. I should have had you guys assemble your bunny rabbit in advance, but that's okay. We'll make this work. We're gonna get out that same die that we've used over and over again. We're gonna use it again. That same, trying to look where I have the most scrap. We're going to use that same die again. I don't think that's going to fit my big shot, so let me just cut it down a little bit. We're going to die cut that out of the gold, and then we've got one more piece we're going to die cut too. Okay, there's our gold piece. Now, if you're using the Spellbinder set that I'm using, this was the postage stamp one. The postage stamp. This is the one that we used for all the other pieces. We're going to grab the postage stamp that is one size smaller. So we're going inside of it. So this is die number 3. If you count from the outside for the postage stamp, you have 1, 2, and 3. It's the second smallest one, I guess you could say. But you're going to do the postage stamp. Love this set. Love, I want to collect them all. And we're going to cut it out of the blue cardstock. Now, if you do not have the postage die and you just have a nesting die, use the next size in. Next size in on your nesting die. If you don't have dies and you're using your trimmer and just cutting out a rectangle, I will give you the measurements here in 1 second. 1 second, let me grab it. This is going to be 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. The blue is 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. So if you do not have the nesting die, that's the size you're going to want. Okay, so we're going to grab your gold piece. Your gold piece is going to get glued to that white flap. That white flap that we have going. Glue your gold down to that. Ooh, the reflection on that gold just got me. Okay, and then your blue postage stamp, we're going to pop that. So add some foam to the back side of that one. Okay, and then your blue rectangle, postage stamp, whatever you're cutting out is going to get popped right on top of that. Okay, and then last piece of pattern paper is going to be the plaid, that blue plaid. I just love plaids. I have something about plaids I just love. That new Life in Bloom line from Simple Stories. Oh my gosh, it is beautiful. I love all the plaids that are in there. Okay, so we're going to cut that 2 3/8 by 3 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 3/8 by 3 5/8 for that plaid piece of paper. And then that's going to get glued right to the center of that blue cardstock. Ooh, I think we're going to make it. Because I already die cut my bunny, and I already had you guys die cut your bunny. I'm not sure if you already glued your bunny together yet or not. I probably should have gave that as homework too, but I kind of thought there was a little trick to it. And when I'm gluing die cuts, I got to sit down. So hopefully you can still hear me. I had to sit down. So your bunny, you've got the cute little head. I'll just talk louder. You've got a big ear. You've got a pink. You have a top of an ear. You have a partial ear. A pink. Okay, so there's your bunny pieces. Oh, work just gets in the way of all the fun, doesn't it? Okay, so to glue your bunny together, you're going to take that pink ear, and I just use liquid glue, just a little bit of liquid, and you're going to go all the way down to the bottom and glue it. All the way to the bottom and glue it. Same thing with this. No worries, Sarah. You can grab the replay. As soon as we're done, this will post the replay so you guys can go back and watch again. And pause me and rewind me. Okay, and then your ear just gets folded over that ear. Now, in your kit, there was instructions that kind of showed you how to assemble your bunnies. So your pieces will make a bunny or your pieces will make a lamb. And then there's also this adorable little bow that's on there too. Okay, and then the trick with putting in the bunny face is just taking scrap piece of paper, you flip it over, and you basically just rip, cut, glue the pieces. So I'm going to give mine a black nose. You can give yours a pink nose. You can give it whatever color nose you want. But you're basically just cutting out a black scrap of paper and putting it over the nose. So when you flip it over, you have that cute little nose. Going to do the same thing for the eyes. And this is the reason we throw nothing away. Ha! I laugh. Because you never know when I might have to paper piece a bunny with that itty bitty little piece of black scrap. And then we're going to use pink for her cheeks. Pink for her cheeks. This is the kind of paper piecing I can handle. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it is raining here, and we have a water retention pond behind our house, and the frogs are just out there singing some songs. They sound lovely. They're enjoying all this rain. Okay, so there's our cute little bunny. So then we're going to put his ears on. And there's our cute little bunny. And then I'm going to flip him, and he's getting foam tape. Better believe it. I already ripped it off. Might as well put it on there. Okay, we're going to bring our card back in. And we're going to put our bunny up towards the top. Because you're going to put your words down here. And I want to show you a trick for putting the words on too. So you can use hello. You can use whatever you want. But again, there was only one of everything on here. I still have cute on mine. I'm not sure what you guys have left, but you will have hello. So you can use hello. But I kind of discovered this. It's a fun little trick. So cut it out on your acetate. I use the 3L Scotch foam by the roll. I love all the Scotch adhesive, or sorry, scrapbook adhesive. I love all of their foams. They have the 54 foot. They have the one that's a little bit skinnier. That's the 108. They have the squares. They have the strips. I use them all. I love all their foam. Okay, so I'm going to put him, my little bunny, on there. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but I can never put letters straight on something. I can peel him off and it's not going to be straight. It's not going to be equal spacing. It's not going to look good. So I was just kind of messing around with these, and I don't know if anybody's ever done anything like this before, but I was messing around with them and I came up with this technique, or I came up with this thing that worked for me. So basically what I did is I took and I peeled the packaging back from the top half of these letters. Okay, I peeled the packaging back. Then I took my scissors and again went in there sideways and I cut the back of the packaging off. So I cut the packaging off, okay? My letters are still straight, and I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me try to stand up. The packaging stops about halfway down. Stops about halfway down. The packaging's there. So what I've done is I've exposed the top portion of the letters. So they're sticky right now. So what I did is I just put them on here until I made sure they were centered and where I wanted them. Then I'm going to press the top of the letters. Okay, so the top of the letters are now on there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel off the bottom part, and now my letters are going to be straight. They're going to be equally spaced. They're going to be just like it was on the packaging. But when I went to peel them off, I found it was hard to try to peel off the whole packaging. So I took my scissors, and on the packaging, I just cut it up in between each letter. Okay, so now each letter, the packaging is separate. I'm going to take my pokey tool, and I'm just going to lift this letter, peel off the packaging, and then just set him right back down. Look at that. So you're basically, your top portion is already stuck. Your bottom portion, you're just peeling off now. And place. Lift, peel, and place. Lift, peel, and place. And look at that. They are straight. They are in line. And I don't have any wonky letters. You know how when you have like an O or a U or something that has curve to it, and you try laying it back in the curve and it never goes back in the curve? Ha, I found a way around it. Like I said, I don't know if anybody's ever done this before or not. I just was playing with it last night and I'm like, I need to think smarter, not harder. And that's what I came up with. And it worked for me. So I loved it. So One last thing. We have to decorate this little piece right here. So I had you pull a die cut. That's that cute little pennant and the cute little heart. Cute little pennant and cute little heart. Oh, I'm only over by 3 minutes. And I'm going to say it's because I said 3 minutes of hellos. So we are right on time. Okay, I just need to poke out the center. So these die cuts were also pulled out for your homework last night. No, Deanna, they're always wonky. I cannot place letters. Doesn't matter if I've been drinking or not. I can't place letters. They're always wonky. That's why I'm a mixed media artist. We like wonky in mixed media. Not so much in card making. Okay, and then put your little heart on there. So now we've just kind of dressed up the inside. So don't always forget to do your inside as your cards too. Gotta decorate your insides. Okay, so that is card number 2. So I will bring them back in. I will post pictures of these over in the Crafty Hour Creations. And I'll post them, actually I'll post them on our Facebook page too, because that way it'll give everybody FOMO, so they know what they're missing out on for not signing up for Crafty Hours. So there are our cards. There's our 2 fun, interactive, fun fold cards using stuff in the kit. So we cannot wait to see what you guys create. We can't wait to see what your version of the cards are. So make sure to post those in our Facebook group, the Crafty Hour Creations. And this kit is packed. There's so many more pieces and paper and cardstock that you guys can design with, and we cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. And of course, since we had a Crafty Hour tonight, we go live tomorrow with our next Crafty Hour. Somebody always asks, how many Crafty Hours do you do a month? We do 2 Crafty Hours a month. When does the next one get announced? After we have one, because otherwise we would lose track of what we're doing. So when we have our Crafty Hour, the following day we will announce the new Crafty Hour. So tomorrow will be the announcement of Crafty Hour 14. It will go live on our website at 11 o'clock Central and on Deanna's at 9 o'clock Pacific. I had to think Deanna time and Kourtney time on those. So thank you everybody for tuning in for Crafty Hour. If you missed Deanna's Crafty Hour, that was this morning, 12 o'clock our time, Central, 10 o'clock Pacific. Make sure to go over to Clipper Street's page. The video is there, and watch her lovely presentation where she did 4 amazing cards with lots of layers. Make sure you have plenty of foam tape on hand to create those. So have a fabulous night, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we cannot wait to see what you create. And then make sure to tune in tomorrow to see what Crafty Hour number 14 is. Thank you and have a great night. Bye-bye.